Okay, guys, doing a quick update. These are test plants. Now, I'm going to highlight this really quickly. This is not really turning out the way I expected. The wild grain is growing pretty strong, one of them. But like I said, I planted them pretty deep, and I wanted to like simulate the darkness. I'm not really sure if they're coming up here, but we're gonna leave it anyways, right? Because at some point they'll figure it out. I'm gonna give this another 7 days or so because these are garden seeds. They're not microgreens. Only here and here are microgreens. The basil is looking pretty good. The sage was looking pretty good. This hasn't sprouted yet. There are beans in there, and the bonsai. I had the bonsai growing before in the old soil, which wouldn't grow anything else. But this is what I keep running into. It's like everything starts to grow and then stops. It's not over moist. This is the only time I've actually over moistened it because I bought new soil. I bought new everything. So, and I know this won't kill the plant, right? This one, they were both watered at the same time to the same level. Um, so that shouldn't be the issue. This one has drainage, so it's pretty hard to overwater. It's just that there's a decent amount of charcoal at the bottom, so it retains more moisture. This one's sealed, but again, it's not super damp, and it's been, I think, about 10 days so far without actually watering this one, and this one. Get an update on this. This is starting to dry up, but there's still moisture in there. This one still has moisture. It's been 10 days. And this one is moist on the inside, but there's not as much soil in this one as this one. But I will say, for these planters that I'm going to send off, these are just like, I just made them for anyone who wants to support the channel, honestly. They work just like any other one, but let me show you the others. I wanted to raffle it off, but I actually have a couple more big ones that would look something like this. It purifies the water. It allows organic growth inside the charcoal. There's enough of it where it's not like a lot because that's what it's fighting off, but at the part where it meets the soil, it would stay, obviously more damp than it would towards the top. This works based on convection, and it actually collects moisture on the inside, soil on the core, which is moist. It retains a certain level of moisture, which matches pretty much the humidity in your room. So if you live in a humid part of the world, this would actually collect moisture over time, and if you had a plant in there, it would actually keep it moist enough to keep it alive if you don't water it as often. Excuse the mask. I have all organic stuff. I actually have some Epsom salt and some water, and it's all organic, so I shouldn't have an issue. This is the old soil that I was using, which is dry as hell. All right, nothing grew at all in this one. There's a lot of perlite in this, and I was looking into making my own mix and all that for these because I need to control all of the action a little bit better. You can potentially enhance the condensation or whatnot, but I need to play around with that a little bit more. With my current situation, these things are up for grabs. If anyone wants to donate and you specifically want something, you can actually ask me, and you can choose any single one. I'm just really trying to get the project moving. These are supposed to be in 32-ounce mason jars, which, give me one sec, I believe is about the size of this. So it's not like you're getting anything small, right? The normal ones I would be making are around 16 ounces, which would be around that size there. As I said, I did Airbnb previously, and I did something similar to this in my basement, not my basement, my backyard, with a trowel. It had rocks in it already, and I put some soil in there, and I was hoping to grow peppers and tomatoes. But within the time frame of the last 3 to 4 years, I've had multiple break-ins, and it's starting to freak me out because, as I said too, this line has been up for months, and as soon as I finished with these here, I came back and found this line down, and I'm the only one in here. So I'm just hoping my project is safe. But you know, again, my car I just got from the mechanic, and I'm still dealing with issues of even getting it to drive straight. So I'm not really sure why I'm having so many issues here in Florida, and why every single project seems to end in other exterior issues. Even my tripod, which stays in the same position for the most part, is now rusted on the inside. So are my cables and everything else. So I'm checking the humidity and everything in here, but there shouldn't be any salt in the air to rust anything, especially a multimeter on the inside. But either way, this is the update. I'm really hoping this grows something. I'm waiting for the next 4 days, because we're at 10 now, to water these, because I was aiming at least 2 weeks. So I think if it can get a solid week, it's pretty decent to water something. As these grow, you'd obviously have to see what the water intake is, but if the target of 2 weeks holds true, I believe it should be a pretty good planter to grow herbs, plants, flowers, all sorts of things like that. You know, it's made out of glass, so no plastic involved, and you have to water it less. All right, it holds more moisture over time. That's the whole point. Thanks for watching. Support the channel, like, subscribe for more. Oh, last one. I actually planted some radishes back here. So this is the last day of the blackout. And here's the issue. I just opened this up, and I don't know if that is actual mold. There is not drainage, right? This is also one of the things I'm testing for, but I do have charcoal mixed in and on the bottom. So I layered it with charcoal throughout the bottom to see if that would actually help with this issue, because that would be the biggest issue with these jars, right? I have these sides up here to help it dry. So if you notice, I dig out the middle just to help the entire convection cycle. That's what actually brings the moisture from the bottom to the top. So it does need airflow. I'm hoping to get another fan so I can get the airflow going, because I know that's a decent issue right now. But you know, I'm setting it up properly, but at the same time I'm trying to test for different things, just so I can make sure this actually works and it's something that you can use without your plants dying. Thanks for watching.